Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. What a crazy weekend. What in the hell happened? Took me a little bit, I'm slow to the punch, to try to process it. By the way, if I missed you yesterday morning, we had a great show for Madeline Soto. It is sicker than we thought. I'm actually going to be talking about it more tomorrow. And I just don't even know what to say about this situation. Okay, first off, we had crazy storms come through Oklahoma again last night. We live in a brick house, and I could almost feel it moving. I'm like, damn it. When is this going to end? I saw Karma in chat saying some of her neighbors lost windows. Woo! I don't want that. I do have some advice for Seth. I do know he listens to all these shows. If he wants to be friends with TikTok Tony, who am I to say? Okay? But there are organizations that are there for parents that have missing children. Mark Klass has done an amazing job advocating and working with parents through the Klass Kids Foundation. His daughter Polly, as you know, was murdered. Kane Horman runs the Kyron Horman Foundation. And even if he wants to speak with the mother of Michael Vaughn, I know that she would be more than happy to do it. Now, mind you, all of these cases are totally different than what Seth is experiencing. It is a very bad look for your PR manager to go hard in the paint after Nick Barris. We're going to talk about that. Because Nick is using his platform to keep the rumors out and the facts in. He'll call the detectives and say, is this true? Is this true? Is this true? I have a lot of people asking me. They can either say no comment, or as they said to Nick the other day, it's all garbage. Our friend Trevor Lee, without him, to be quite honest, we wouldn't even know about this case. This is something that Seth doesn't understand. He doesn't understand this. I shouldn't use the word lucky because there's nothing lucky about this. Nothing lucky about this. Your son is missing, okay? No good vibes, okay? Your son is missing. As far as the attention that Sebastian is getting, that is all from Trevor doing daily updates on his channel when he still used it. And now Seth and Tony, which I believe Tony is the one leading it, are trying so hard to discredit Trevor. This all comes down to the leaked phone call. For whatever reason, Seth did not want to admit that he's the one that handed it over to several YouTubers and gave them express permission to air it. Now, why is that? We're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that. Let's take a second and tell everyone happy Monday, if there is such a thing. Welcome your neighbor, Baptist style. Again, so glad you all are here. HDC, that's me, coming in hot. Said it's ridiculous to me that Seth doesn't want to admit sending it because he should have every right to. He was being threatened. I'd want it out if I were me. I think it's because law enforcement flat out asked him, are you the one that is releasing this? You see, Seth has been bitching up a storm for quite a while that law enforcement won't tell him what's going on. They only talk to Katie. If they're even talking to Katie, I don't know. Well, let's put our heads together. Let's play the Jeopardy music. Near, 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 na, 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 na. Why would they not give any information to Seth? Is it because he is a loose cannon? Because he will get on platforms and release information? I don't know. I have no idea. But this jumping all over Trevor is insane. I do not know Seth. Okay? I mean, I might have talked to him a couple of times, but I don't know him. Chris Proudfeet? I don't know him. Never talked to Katie, but I do know Trevor. And Trevor would not have done something like this, and Trevor did not deserve to be blackmailed, which, by the way, is a crime. So let's bring up our friend Chloe, and we'll start with last night. They had a vigil last night, and it all seemed to go very well. Big round of applause for our friend Chloe Jade, not to be confused with the private investigator, although she could be one. This bitch digs stuff up, you wouldn't even believe it. Woo! Good morning, girlfriend. How was your weekend?
Hey, it was great. How are you? Well, besides the sadness that I have from this weekend.
It was very sad. And I think that Trevor handled himself well. I know some people have seen it, several times. Some people don't know what I'm talking about. So let's do this. Let's start with the vigil they had last night. Now then, before I get to it, I don't expect Seth to know this. It would be absurd if he did, but we know because, we have a channel, we follow cases, and we know that it is extremely rare that a missing child, a missing person gets this type of attention. It really is. It's not the type of attention that anybody wants. So when we're hearing about, what are you doing not searching? What are you doing on your phone? What are you doing behind your computer? How come you're not at least donating? Listen, the fact that they have gotten anything is absolutely amazing. What do you have to say about that, Chloe?
I agree. The amount of the coverage of Sebastian that we've seen is unlike many or most other cases, and it's great that he was put out there and the story got out there so much, and I'm thankful for that. But I think that it's been distracted away from Sebastian at this point, and that makes me sad.
Well, and the lectures. I don't need a lecture.
Yeah.
You see some of these Facebook groups and it's like, we need to go back to Sebastian. This is about Sebastian. You don't know what his parents are going through. No, I don't. I've never had a child that's missing, but I've talked to many parents that have missing children. Hell, I'm really good friends with several of them. So it's not, we don't need the lecture. We know it's about Sebastian. The people that need the lecture would be his parents.
Exactly. Yep. You're true. You're so right.
Seth, Chris, and Katie. They need the lecture. The rest of us don't.
Right.
You know, and Seth loves to use that. This is about Sebastian. This is about Sebastian. They don't even bring up my son. You took time to accost Trevor. How is that benefiting Sebastian?
Right. And Trevor was the first one on this case and did so much work and got it out there. And I mean, got all of us covering it and into it. I mean, Trevor really did a lot of work, and Trevor is a beautiful person. I cannot believe that of all people that Seth would attack, it would be Trevor. It just breaks my heart.
I wasn't expecting that. Now, I knew the dam was about to break last week, just from conversations I had. I didn't know the whole skinny of it, but I knew that they were wanting Trevor to take the fall for releasing that phone call.
Oh, absolutely. He was. They wanted him to be the scapegoat. This was orchestrated.
Doodle Mom, thank you for becoming a new YouTube member. And Doodle Mom said Seth needs to get away from these scammers.
I agree, Doodle Mom.
I agree. And the thing is, like I said, we don't know Seth. We don't know Chris. We don't know Katie. We don't know these people. But we know Trevor. We know Trevor. And we know Trevor doesn't have a bad bone in his body. As far as Seth's, and this is his investigation. This is his operation. The buck stops here. Seth makes all the calls. Do you know how many detectives and agents fall in the floor, dying, laughing, going, no, you aren't running nothing. Dude, I wouldn't let you run my microwave. I wouldn't let you run my remote control. No, you're not running any of this. But I will say this about the vigil last night. It was very hard not to tear up watching Seth.
Good evening, and thanks for joining News 2 at 5. I'm Peyton Kennedy in for Kelly Hargett. It's been nearly 3 months since a Sumner County teen disappeared from his home. Happening now, Jeeps and bikers are gathering in Hendersonville, riding for hope amid the search for Sebastian Rogers. News 2's Nikki McGee has more and the message from Sebastian's father.
Well, it's been just a little over 80 days since Sebastian was last seen, and tonight his father holds on to hope that this won't turn into a cold case. This evening, dozens are gathering to take a ride from here at the Rudder in Hendersonville over to Beach High School, working to keep Sebastian's name alive. This is one of several events that have taken place along Old Hickory Lake, passing out flyers and encouraging others to stay active in this search. Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, says he's gotten an outpouring of evidence and tips. Recently, he even went to North Carolina after a possible sighting. Tonight, he hopes the community will keep on guard looking for Sebastian. And again, Sebastian is 15 years old, 5'5" and 110 pounds.
It's a never-ending nightmare. I mean, I literally got off of work one day and found out my son's gone.
Okay, that hit me in the feels right there. I got off work one day and found out my son was gone. Now let's talk about that, because he received a text message from the one and only Chrissy Poo that said, "Don't be mad, Sebastian's missing." Not, We can't find Sebastian. Is he with you? It was definitive. Missing. Missing means can't be found.
Right. And how insensitive to send that in a text and just be like, don't be mad. Hey, don't be mad. Don't worry, you know, but Sebastian's missing. Like, that is so flippant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then he asked Seth, what are you going to do if this all goes south? Now, what exactly does that mean?
Right.
All go south? You mean if people find out things about all of your pasts, as in when Seth met Katie, as in procedures she had to have before she was 18, as in how many times Chrissy Poo has been married, in the abuse he has inflicted on his ex-wives? I mean, is that what he's saying by if this goes south? Or is he talking about if we can't find Sebastian? Because there's been a lot of cover your ass with these three.
There sure has. They all have something that they're hiding, it seems, or they wouldn't act this way. Yeah.
Now, let's put it this way. It's hard to imagine, but if your daughter was missing, Chloe, and you are a great mother, would you care about anything from your past coming up? Of course, it would be embarrassing, humiliating. You would feel the need to, explain it maybe, but would you be that protective over a skeleton in your closet as opposed to wanting your child found? I'm asking you and everyone in chat.
Are you there? I dropped out for a second. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you for a second.
Well, I'm just saying, and it's hard to put ourselves in these positions, to put ourselves in other people's shoes, no pun intended. If your child is missing, everyone has a skeleton in their closet. I don't care who you are. You've got something that you would prefer not to talk about. You've got some embarrassing something somewhere. Would you be more concerned about your reputation or about your child?
Absolutely, my child. None of that would even matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine trying to, mistakes I've made in the past, trying to cover up things instead of my child being the forefront of, being found. They're all doing damage control, it seems like, it feels like, and it's not working out well.
Raise your hand if you've never messed up. If you've never had too much to drink at a party. Christmas parties at work were always my favorite. Woo, I always knew how to screw that up. Came Monday morning, I knew I couldn't call in sick, but I was like, woo, okay. How many? Damn.
I know what you're talking about.
Didn't manage your finances right. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you have TikTok Tony there with these nipples sticking out and that mint green shirt. He didn't even get on one of the motorcycles. And I saw a ton of comments wanting to know where Seth got his. And they were like, oh, so many arguments. Harley Davidson loaned him one. And then they're like, no, he said he bought it. Oh, no, it's the people that organize it. They loaned it to him. Well, of course, some people can't leave well enough alone. So they started calling the Harley Davidson place locally, or 2 or 3 of them. And they're like, no, we don't loan them out. No. Of course, you can test drive it, but you're not going far. But no, we don't loan them out. Sorry. We're not a rental company. So whatever. if he used his GoFundMe money or Cash App money or whatever to get a motorcycle, that's what happens. You can't loan that shit out.
And you still don't. There is no break in this. You know, if I get sleep, I have dreams of my son. When I wake up, he's not here. There is no ending.
Now, again, this ride is going from here to the Rudder over to Beach High School, where a vigil will take place at 6 p.m. and that is open to the public if you would like to join. In the meantime, if you have any signs or sightings of Sebastian, you're asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Reporting in Hendersonville, Nikki McGee, News 2.
All right. Oh, what is Jackie O doing? Your puppy is coming unglued.
I know. I've been trying to keep her calm. We have another dog over here, and they're talking to each other. Sorry.
That's how they communicate. Well,
Yeah.
at least OJ went back to bed.
Well, if it's not OJ, it's got to be somebody.
I know. Well, you never know. He'll jump up here in a second and he'll start sighing. Dee Dee said, funny you said that, Brooks, because he claimed he is renting that motorcycle. Just another filthy lie. I don't know why the people at the Harley shop would say that. Now, you can rent motorcycles. I mean, you can. They do it in Vegas all the time. You know, different, like tourism spots. But I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. I don't know what the hell's going on. So we're going to dial it back a few days to TikTok Tony. Another guy named Steven put out some stuff that was beyond false. That's when Nick Barris got involved, and he got a hold of one of the detectives that said, this is all garbage. Now, just a word to the wise to Seth. If a detective is saying what your team is doing is garbage, maybe it's time to reel it in. Flyers, vigils, advocacy makes tons of sense. But him saying, I've got all these evidence. I've got evidence and tips all the time. Okay, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you have a ton of quacks calling you. I'm sure they are talking about everything from human trafficking to the space mission to Mars. I'm sure you're hearing all kinds of stuff. But is it credible?
Sure wasn't on TikTok. We found that out.
No, old TikTok Tony loves that shit, let me tell you.
Sebastian Rogers' case has turned into a complete circus, and it's so frustrating because the focus should remain on Sebastian, instead of all the drama that's going on. A 15-year-old boy is still missing, and we are nearly at the 3-month mark. There's been no updates from law enforcement, and I worry that they are still at square one. A day or so ago, things took a turn in this case, and the internet went crazy when Tony Mathis, Seth Rogers' spokesperson, made some alarming claims online. Take a listen.
Last night we got information that Sebastian was actually communicating with Katie's mom the night before he went missing. We got information from law enforcement today that there was actual footage of Sebastian on the 26th, and
Totally false.
I cannot believe that he said that and that he endorsed what that guy said on TikTok about talking to Ellie. That is unbelievable to me. Unbelievable.
And you know that if you lie about information you've been given by law enforcement, it's illegal.
Right.
You can't lie about them. You can't lie to them. And Tony, you're doing this to Seth. Evil exists. I love how he put this together. This did not happen. And then he has the nerve to go after an esteemed reporter that got to it, talked to a detective and said, no, no, no. This is all garbage. See, that didn't satisfy Tony enough. TikTok Tony was not happy with that. So he had to get Seth going, get Seth going, get Seth going, and escalated it again on Saturday.
Absolutely.
We thought that the last footage they had was on the 25th, so we know now they've got additional footage. The biggest thing, I think, is that we got information from them that they had a theory the first 72 hours, and after 72 hours, that theory took a 180-degree turn, and that's what I think was the biggest information.
It seems that he got this information from a man on TikTok, Stephen Michael Crabtree, who claimed
Stephen Shittree, that's where he got it. Now, this guy said he was mistaken. He was misunderstood. We've all made mistakes, okay? You've got TikTok Tony saying that he gets all his information from TikTok. All his information from TikTok. So never mind press releases and any of that stuff. I get everything from TikTok.
And he endorsed what that guy said and doubled down on it and completely acted as if it was truth, and it was complete and total lies. I don't, oh, it makes me very angry. And I believe that all of this other stuff that's going on right now is deflection away from what Tony is doing.
Oh, yeah. It's a magic show.
Yeah.
You know, when they put the woman in the box and they're sawing her in half, you know, you're looking over here. You don't even realize there's two people.
Right.
He's got the perfect magic show right now. They used the word donation more in Pascal's show last week than they used the name Sebastian.
Wow.
Count it up. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
claims to have spoken to law enforcement. It was claimed that Sebastian spoke to Katie's mother via text before he vanished. Keep in mind that Katie's mother is a registered offender. It was also stated that Sebastian was seen on camera on the 26th, which took everyone by surprise. People went nuts with this so-called accurate information coming from someone who spoke to law enforcement. The last known footage of Sebastian was on the 25th, leaving the restaurant with his mother, Katie Proudfoot. There was some footage that evening, but it was so grainy and dark that no one could be sure if that was Sebastian or not. So, this new information about Sebastian being seen on footage on the 26th was really interesting. Turns out they've backtracked on that information and claimed that it was a misunderstanding. Sebastian was last seen on the 25th, and there is no footage on the 26th.
Hey guys, I just want to come on here before any lives or anything like that, and I'm sure a couple people might say something about this, but I am a man. When I make a mistake, I'll come here and say it. Now, I had to.
Okay, and I'll give him that because it's really hard to say, I stepped in it. I did it. I screwed up. I got that. And yes, Katie's mother is a RSO. So are a couple of other people in her family. Katie was put into foster care due to things that were going on in her home. And at the age of 13, 14, she met Seth, who was 22, 23, 24. I mean, you know, you can figure out the age difference. She had Sebastian at 19. That doesn't mean I can feel very sorry for Katie about that. But I'm not going to feel too sorry for her about Sebastian when I feel like she hasn't been very forthcoming. She doesn't have to be forthcoming with the media, with YouTube or YouTubians, as Tim Mullins says, but with law enforcement, because there is something more she has got to know. She was the only one home that we know of.
Right. And I think that it's crazy that Seth's side is causing all of this when really, honestly, if they had just searched, been, you know, thankful for the help they were getting and kept it clean and not these lies, we know where the suspicion lies. We know exactly where we're looking. And Seth didn't need to do all of this. And that makes me sad because I did feel bad for him. I do still feel bad for him, but I just can't be okay with what's going on right now.
No, no. And I agree 100% with our friend Liz. She said, well, your own victimhood does not excuse victimizing a child, and not just any child, your own child.
Absolutely, Wes. I mean, all of us here are survivors, and we made a choice in our life to not do those things to our children. I feel like, you know, it's a choice.
And as far as that CCTV being grainy, they can clean that up. It's just what they showed Seth. Seth is not part of the investigation, okay? This is not his operation. This is not his investigation. There's a lot of stuff, I guarantee, going on behind the scenes.
I agree. And I think that they're not releasing stuff to Seth because they're worried about what he's going to say or do on YouTube, or, you know, what he's going to put out there. And they're trying to, I'm sure that they're obviously building a case and have a case. You know what I mean? So clearly they don't want that messed up. And they're not going to release to him information anymore because it's going to screw that up for them.
No, they can't. I remember during the Idaho 4 case, which is still going on, and Steve Goncalves was so pissed that law enforcement was not telling him what they were doing.
Right. Yeah.
He wanted to be in the meetings. He wanted to know. I get it. And Nancy Grace said, listen, with family members of victims, you court them soup to nuts. Do you tell them what's in your case file? Absolutely not. But you have to have an advocate to continually talk to them. And in this case, it seems like there's something missing. And Tony is not going to get the answers. Seth's lawyer might be the better choice as far as advice goes. Just my opinion.
The opportunity to have the major of the head guy over the criminal investigations unit, Tim Bailey, had the opportunity to talk to him today. And what I will tell you is I made a very, very crucial mistake when misspeaking about the camera footage that they have and all the footage that they have gathered. They have not seen Sebastian past the date of the 26th that he went missing. This is my fault for saying, for me making an understanding after talking to him, that when we were talking and was talking about all the camera footage and I had asked the question, he was simply stating, no, they have gathered every bit of footage they could from all the cameras that they could, and including the one where, it was said that, he was in the area. They went to those locations and was, where they could get camera footage and got those. I thought that he said that, or took it as a way of like, oh no, yeah. So the day that that we have footage that he has seen past that date. Cindy will be able to explain this a lot better. She also talked to him. There's a lot of things, man, that I can say. But first and foremost, I want to apologize to Gator. I don't do that stuff. I'm not a crime talk. I'm going to make a mistake. And I've always said this on every one of my videos. Check my information, do your own research, and you find out. And unfortunately, trying to be helpful, it would be something that would be very bad in the sense of like where it got out to, in the fact that it put hopes out there that were false and making Seth believe that, that his son had been seen past that date of the 26th. That I am truly sorry for. And when talking to Tim was very, very nice, very positive. He said, one of the main reasons why he did not, that they don't like doing press releases every day, like in every week or anything, is because in all honesty, he doesn't want to deliver nothing burgers. He don't want to get Seth and the family's hopes up. There's a lot more to this I can say that I can't put into words correctly, because I don't think I'm the person that should be doing this, right? This should come from Tony, Cindy, people that are credible.
This should come from Tony. This should come from Tony. Has this poor guy thought that maybe he's the fall guy for Tony? Just like they tried to make Trevor Lee the fall guy for what was going on from their camp? And people keep asking, why is the leaked phone call such a big deal? You know why? Because when law enforcement was asking, how did it come out? Seth was shitting his britches. He didn't have the nerve to say, well, I sent it to those different YouTubers. I sent it to Pascal, to T-Rev, to Josh at the lab. I sent all that out. I gave express permission to use it. He didn't say that. So instead, they bullied the shit out of Trevor last week, blackmailed him, his words, not mine, with what I don't know, telling him, we're going to tell everyone that you're the one that did it. Wow. Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
It's just one day after another, a new deflection from something. They're trying to just take all of the attention and put it off onto all this other stuff that are just distractions.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that this TikTok guy, Steven, yesterday, just because I had seen what he, said the other day, and I wanted to see what he was saying now. And, he says he's setting up a search and all of this stuff, but how can you believe him now after what came out already? I mean, I do think he was used. I'm not saying that he wasn't, but I mean, they're really destroying so many people that would actually be of help to them.
And I understand that Nancy Grace was a huge interview. Peter Hyatt. I mean, a lot of big names have been talking about Sebastian. But when it comes down to it, Trevor is the one that brought the case to the forefront. He did a daily show talking about Sebastian. He covers a lot of things in Tennessee. A lot. Now, he's not using his YouTube anymore. I really wish he would come back. He stepped away from the Facebook group after a discussion he had with Seth yesterday, which I don't understand that. I mean, I think it would make more sense to continue with the people that got you the exposure in the first place, as opposed to pissing on them, lying about them, blackmailing them. I mean, Josh from the lab flat out said he was given the date from Seth he could release that video.
Yes, he did. I am so thankful Josh did that show and explained that, because I really love that Josh is such a good friend of Trevor as well, and he knows him like we know him, and how beautiful of a person he is, and that he did that because he laid it all out. He was told what date he could release it. He sat on it for like a week or so. I mean, he even debated on whether he should, but he decided to do it because, I mean, it was clearly threatening, and it showed Chris Proudfoot and how he really is. And I'm really, really thankful that he did that and told everyone it was his choice. This has nothing to do with Trevor. It did not come from Trevor.
No. And I've talked to Trevor many, many, many times. I mean, last week, I already knew what was going to happen. I just hoped it wouldn't. I didn't want to be the asshole that turns on my StreamYard and says, hey, this is what's going to happen. And then it doesn't. But it did.
It sure did.
And the aggression we see from certain people in this case that were directly involved with Sebastian tells me a lot about how this boy was treated.
Yes, absolutely.
And much respect to our friend Josh at the lab that stood up and did the right thing. He even went as far as to say, now he might change his mind, saying that his show with Tony and Seth isn't going to happen because nothing's coming of it. Nothing. He might have changed his mind. That is what I heard.
Me, I went up there absolutely, and Tim did tell me that David in our conversation was recorded, which is great to know. So you should be able to get that information, right? But first and foremost, I wanted to come on here without going on anybody's lives and tell you, hey, I made a big fucking mistake on a key detail point when it come to if Sebastian Rogers was seen on the 26th or after the 26th, and that is my fault. I'm a man of integrity, and when I make a mistake, I will happily own up to that mistake. I'm sure I'll get ridiculed and dragged all over the place, but at the end of the day, it ain't going to stop me from doing the preparations for planning for a search team to come and do what I got to do to take part and to be able to bring Sebastian home. Now, do with that what you will. I will tell you this, Miss Cindy will have her live later. She's phenomenal. And I'm so thankful to have a friend in Cindy who was able, when I talked to her today, hey man, call Tim Bailey too. You get what you hear and you tell me what you hear and stuff like that. That way, if there's anything that I might have miscommunicated, she has the correct facts on that. And I am super happy to have somebody like her because, again, I'm not an investigator. I'm just a guy from Hendersonville that posts stuff, and this case took a part. It took a big part of me, and it means a lot to me. That being said, moving forward, rule number one, Stephen is not an investigator. Leave that to the people that do it. I wanted answers. And, I found out from Tim today that they are absolutely talking to media and stuff, though. It's just maybe it's not what people want to hear, that there's nothing to be said right now. But they are absolutely day in and day out working this case. But anyways, that's my saying.
Okay. Trevor's in here. Trevor, I put the link in. You are more than welcome to come up. You are more than welcome to come up because you have 829 people that support you. We know you as a brother, as a friend. Okay, I'm starting to get upset.
Yeah. Trevor, I love you too. I haven't gotten to talk to you in a while, but I just want you to know how much I support you and have always believed in you. And I don't know a better person, honestly.
What a bitch thing to say on my panel, Chloe. I'm not better than Trevor.
Besides Brooks. I meant besides Brooks. Sorry.
No,
this is my family. I never even was on YouTube till I found you guys, and I met you and Trevor and Jules, and I saw what Jules posted a minute ago. Yeah, we've all been Trevor's biggest fans, so it's really hurtful for all of us to see this.
Mm-hmm. And we will continue to stand up for Trevor and the truth, because what he's being accused of did not happen. And you're not just going to throw a friend of ours away with all the hard work and everything they have done, blackmail them and lie about them. You say, look, I don't need that person's help anymore. That's your deal. That is your deal.
And I am truly sorry to the Rogers family, Katie, Chris, everybody, Seth, that false information was given out there, but I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. And that's what I'll say.
Well, hello, you old stranger.
Howdy.
Here.
Hey, Trev.
Good morning.
Let's light up the chat with I Stand with Trev. We're trying to get that trending right now because what has happened is beyond disgusting. And it's not going to happen on this mama's watch. Do you think they mistaked your kindness, Trevor, for weakness?
Maybe. I mean, I think they thought that once they confronted me, I would just, back down. I think Seth was surprised that I even came up on that panel when he started saying stuff.
Well, I mean, in Smiley's chat, Seth came in. He said, "Hey, Smiley, this slow mode sucks. But what is this stuff? Did you know that Trevor Lee is a slime ball and that he leaked the audio file at Chloe's?" Hang on, Chloe's. I got to take down the banner so I can read. I apologize.
He said request.
At Chloe's request. This did not happen.
No.
And so they think if they say it, it's going to stick. Well, it's not. And all of this comes down to he was not man enough to say, this is Seth, he's not man enough to say that he's the one that wanted that audio used. And what has happened to Trevor, this is just my opinion, is illegal, eloquently classy, and I expect nothing less. Trevor said, "I apologize for anyone who had to see that. For the past week, I have been threatened to be exposed or framed for things I didn't do if I kept talking bad about Tony. Last I checked, we live in America. Are you not allowed to have an opinion, Trevor?"
I thought so.
He said, "I live by this. Don't tell lies about me, and I won't tell the truth about you. I have now been lied on for a week, and I had to set the record straight. I will never apologize for my efforts for Sebastian. I have been around since day one, and I'll be damned if I go anywhere. I don't ask for your support or sympathy. I want this child found. Don't entertain these adults. Give this sweet boy the effort he deserves. Today, tomorrow, and always, I am Sebastian Strong."
Well said, Trevor.
Well said.
It's become a circus. It's sad.
It has. It's very sad.
I just like I said when I was up on Smiley's, I said I hope all the families around the country are listening, and they don't bring on somebody like Tony, because it didn't used to be like this. I had a great relationship with Seth, and I thought he was doing the right things and doing what he needed to do for Sebastian. But then Tony comes along, and I mean, things just set ablaze. I mean, they're just starting fires left and right.
They sure are.
Do you think that you and Seth can ever mend fences and continue with what you were doing, or has that ship sailed?
I'm willing to support anyone and any efforts to find Sebastian. What I'm not going to do is entertain adults' drama or frustrations or lies.
And correct me if I'm wrong, this all started, okay, we lost Trevor for a minute. He's back. This all started with a lot of controversy about the phone call.
Right. And that's what it was, is the phone call got out, and it made it out, and it went all over the internet, and everybody heard it, and it only made Chris look bad. I mean, let's just be real. Seth wasn't on the call. I'm not sure why I guess it's because he didn't want people to know he had anything to do with it, but.
Well, and then Tony Mathis, he hits back at Nick Barris, who is just trying to keep the rumors away. He wants facts in, rumors out. Tony Mathis decides he's going to supposedly school Nick Barris on how to do his job, which he's done an amazing job for many, many years. I understand his son is following in his footsteps now. Tony says if they would do a press conference or communicate with the father, we wouldn't have to rely on local citizens off the streets to pressure for information. Nobody is lying about anything. They did lie. Many lies. Misunderstanding and walkbacks are much more likely. Hey, Nick, instead of throwing shade at a citizen from your community trying to help, why don't you tell the SCSO that the community and the father want and deserve answers? If this case is over their heads and they truly have no leads, then have them elevated. You being disrespectful to a volunteer trying to get answers tells a story of itself. Who is he to need answers? The case is not solved.
Of course not. And it's
looking for tips.
Yeah, he told me he thinks he's going to be the one to get law enforcement to give information out to Seth. He said he's going to be the one to go in there and get them to give more information to Seth. And one, that just is not how it works. And Nick Barris, and he and I have disagreed on some things, but he does have incredible sources. He talks directly to investigators on these cases. He's not a liar. He's got a huge reputation of many years to uphold. And I mean, I feel like the only law enforcement Tony knows is probably the ones that got him for his faulty check.
That's bingo. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through this phone call again, because this is what lit the firecracker. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I only could have come up for a few minutes. I do need to hop down and take care of some things, but I just wanted to come up and thank everyone for the kind words, and just please stay with Sebastian. Like I said, don't entertain the adult circus. Just focus on Sebastian, because once he's found, all of this comes to an end. None of these adults matter at the end.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Thank you so much, Trevor.
Thank you, guys. I'm gonna hop down.
Love you, Trevor.
Love you.
Okay, big round of applause for our wonderful friend Trevor Lee. Okay, to me, the phone call is not a big deal. It just shows what a nasty bastard Chrissy Poo is. But it was a big deal when law enforcement was asking who is putting this stuff out. It's hard for us to do an investigation when we're getting all these phone calls about YouTube drama. Seth wouldn't admit that he did it. So instead, they try to pin it on Chloe and Trev. I am so glad that people with actual integrity, who don't have to say who their sources are, by the way, stepped up and said, Seth, you sent it to me. You told me what day to release it. You gave me express permission to do it. Look, I'm proud of my friends every day, but there's some days I'm extra proud. Not proud foot, but extra proud.
Me too. I agree.
All right, let's go through the phone call.
Okay.
Kitty's passed. Said she has it, but she wasn't going to release it. It caused a fucking story. Now everybody went out there and got it and released it.
Oh, she said Katie's mom's name?
She didn't say the name. She just insinuated she had the information.
I mean, we do have the information, but...
Yeah, and let me tell you what the get started. Now all that information is out in the fucking open. And somebody better fucking explain to me very god quickly, preferably her.
Yeah.
That had any god thing of
no idea
Yeah, because I'm gonna
because
tell
I
you
don't know
something.
what was
That
said.
better find a way to stop it. This
Where's
is
where's it
absolutely
at?
nothing. It's everywhere, all over the fucking internet, that people have released on these stupid ass shows and all these fucking Facebook things.
Okay.
It was never out there until that bitch opened her fucking mouth.
Okay. Well, I haven't been looking at it today or really yesterday, so I don't know what's out there.
I'm
I'll have to look
telling
for
you, I am being very polite as I can possibly be to her.
it. Mm-hmm.
If she don't find a fucking way to fix it, I promise her I am not going to be so goddamn pleasant when I see her.
Okay.
And I will bring the fucking cops with me.
All right. Well, I'll talk
And
to
I don't
her.
care
I
how
mean,
she takes that.
Are-
I don't care how she takes it. I really don't give a god what I have to fucking do. But I can promise you, there's a difference in helping find Sebastian and just being a stupid.
okay. Well, let me ask you something just for a second. Like, are you sure it was her and not like one of these sleuthers or something? Because
No,
other
it's
people
her on the show.
Okay.
It is her.
Okay, because there's other
I think
people
it was
that are
on
digging.
or Sleuth, whatever that woman's name is.
Web sleuths.
Yeah, whatever. It was on that fucking show.
But I don't see. I can't see Chloe just giving out that information though.
She did. You're missing my statement. I
Okay.
didn't say she gave the information out. I said she made a statement that she had it and wouldn't fucking release it. That right there was a trigger to start this fucking storm, when she shouldn't have opened her fucking mouth in the beginning. I don't know what kind of fucking PI or whatever the fuck she thinks she is or how she does this, but if she needs a fucking education and schooling on being a PI, I guarantee you I'll find somebody who is truly a PI and let them school the fuck out of this woman.
All right. Well, let me try to figure it out because I know neither her or I have.
Well, then do it. Get your own private investigator that law enforcement trusts and they'll work with. Go ahead. Why don't you ask your wife what really happened?
Mm-hmm.
I've said the same thing to Don Wells.
Yeah.
And law enforcement was very happy to get this phone call. What they wanted to know is why was it on the damn internet? Loose lips sink ships. And then to find out that the father of the missing boy, Sebastian Rogers, is the one that was peddling it to different YouTubers, pissed him off. So instead of just owning what he did, he tries to put it on other people that have worked their asses off for him and for Sebastian.
Given out any of Katie's information.
It's not giving it out.
Yeah.
All you have to do is start one sentence. I have the information. I'm not going to release it. She started a storm.
Actually,
she better figure out how to fix it.
You know, something else I'll tell you, there was a woman that reached out to me that before I had ever even, before I ever knew anything about Katie's family or past or whatever, there was like this random woman, like sleuther, that reached out to me with like some of Katie's family's names and whatever. Like, I will say that she was wrong about, she was talking about Penny Payne, and she thought there's a Penny Payne that runs like some sort of
Penny Irene Payne or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some medical place or something.
Yeah, it was the wrong Penny Payne, but she had the right names.
She has the right names. Just
the wrong people.
Katie Lynn Payne.
Yeah.
Who supposedly murdered a 4-year-old.
Right, exactly. And that's the problem with a lot of the sleuthers, is that they get a name and then they find somebody with that name and they run with it.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot.
The worst part, and that's fun.
Well, Payne is a popular name. Okay? Just because you put in the last name Payne doesn't mean they're related to Katie. Is Katie Proudfoot? Does her family have issues that have been proven? Yeah. Is that what Chris is really upset about? I don't think so.
Yeah, we had this information for a long time. Like, we've known. So I don't know why at this point he's trying to then make that the problem.
Yeah.
It's been out there. I mean, I've done the research, you know that. I mean, we've all known.
There were some people that knew it on, day 2, 3, 4.
Right, exactly.
Didn't, bring it up. JLR put it out there. Dolly put it out there.
Right.
Miss Always Right Ryan, she's putting it out there. Thank you for the super sticker. She said Chris looks like an ass because Dolly shared the info about Katie's mom well over 2 months ago.
That's right, Ryan.
Mm-hmm. It's not new news. It's sick.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's damn sick.
Fine, that's understandable. Personally, I think everybody fucking starts looking for shit.
Yeah.
Ain't even worth the fucking bacteria of the foam that forms on the fucking worst form of bacteria on Earth. That's what I truly feel.
Yeah, I feel you. I hear you. I can feel it through the phone.
Oh, trust me, Chloe's lucky I'm not standing in fucking front of her. Like I said, I will bring the fucking cops when I see her.
Okay. Well,
And it was more my protection than hers. Because right now, you can inform her. She fucking calls me, says my fucking name, anything of that fucking nature involving Katie or me or anybody else, I'm going to slap out of her with the same fucking thing I told you. I'll cease and desist letter and then let her open her fucking mouth one more time. And then I've got her dead to fucking rights.
I think that's
I'm
the
trying
only.
to be as civil as possible.
Isn't that the
And
only interview she's even done? I don't think she's.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't
I
even
don't
think
care.
she's done
not my PI. She's not. Still fucking mean a god thing to me. If she was on fire, I wouldn't piss on her to put her out.
Well, I mean, it's not like Kate, or I said Katie. It's not like Chloe because she's very private. Like I'm more public than she is. I mean, you know that.
I promise you. Go back and watch that fucking video. Go watch that fucking interview.
I mean, I was watching it. I know what she said, but
She ain't fucking careful. She's fucking sloppy.
all right. Well, let me talk to her. I don't even know. Actually, I do know.
I ain't trying to be a to her, but if she ain't got the fucking audacity to give me a working fucking phone number, she better not fucking reach out to me. And that Google ain't a fucking true number.
That's the same number that Seth has, though. I will tell you that.
Yeah, I'm not Seth. I have the balls and the fucking spine to call people out on.
Just don't take it personal because she doesn't give her personal phone number out to anybody. I mean, like only, like I had it from like a previous case that we worked together, but she's very private about her personal information. So
okay.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what to say. I feel bad. Like I know Chloe and I know that she's not, that's not her style. But I mean, I get it.
Maybe her head's so fucking twisted because she's too emotionally involved or personal involvement with Seth. I don't fucking know. No, I'm not saying a relationship.
Yeah, no.
Didn't say that.
No,
but
yeah.
whatever the fuck it is, she better God can figure it out and redial herself the fuck back in.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, and I think I told you this before, like, she's more focused on the search side of things, that's been
And
her
why the
focus.
fuck is this on fucking on these goddamn interviews?
Yeah, it's just the one that I know of, but I mean, I'm not trying to, like, I don't know. I mean, I have to try to defend her a little bit because, I mean, I know that she's not a person that, like, shares personal information or private information.
She didn't have to. She insinuated she had the information. She wasn't going to release it. She started a fucking fire storm.
What was the purpose of making that statement, knowing full good and well that the
Trust me.
Yeah.
Seth can have his fucking PIs. I don't need PIs.
See, and actually,
I got
as
the whole
we're
goddamn world
speaking,
that sends me all this shit for no fucking reason.
as we're speaking, I just got a message from a web sleuther that I don't even know. I don't even know their name. They go under a pseudonym. And they're sending me a picture of Katie's mom. And I don't know how they found that out. Like, I didn't tell. They're telling me, like, I don't know.
problems or remedies that have already been run down.
Like, these web sleuthers, like, I mean, they are, like, batshit 99.9% of the time, but they're pretty good at finding. And some of these people are just doing it on their own.
Yes, I know. That's one thing. She opened her mouth, made the statement, She's the catalyst to the fucking storm that is now brewing.
Yeah.
Striking support.
It doesn't take much. I could go out there, open my mouth, say one fucking word, and I could almost break the fucking internet. Look what I did the other night when I got on that show. When you said I wanted on the show,
Yeah.
that it almost broke the fucking internet.
Yeah. And that's mainly because up until that show, like you and Katie both were pretty reserved about anything that you were saying. And that was like the one time that you just kind of went berserk.
No, that's the one time I went out there and stated the fucking facts.
Yeah.
I didn't go berserk.
Well,
Now they've dug in.
No, I'm fucking pissed.
I
There's
know.
a difference in berserk, stupid, psychotic, and every other adjective you want to add into it.
yeah.
I'm neither of those.
No, but I'm
I'm
just
just a
saying you
very
said a whole
pissed
lot
off-
more than you normally say. And
Yeah,
so,
I did, and I had every fucking right to say what I said. Nothing I said was fucking false. Nothing.
I didn't say it was. I don't think anything you said was false.
I don't know. I can't yet.
But well, let me make a phone. Actually, I know I'm not going to be able to get a hold of her right now. I'm not going to be able to get a hold of her till this evening.
And by the way, I sent a message to Seth. Once again, he wants to talk about not responding or whatever. I got in touch with Tony. We talked to Tony. That
Yeah.
probably ain't happening. Got in touch with the dog handler. Guess what? That ain't happening either.
Who the hell would want to talk to Tony as opposed to Seth?
Right.
I broke the internet. Internet. My internet was working.
The way he speaks is so gross. It's just, it's horrible. And it shows that that's who he really is. What we're hearing right here is who this man really is.
This is who he really is. And I have a lot of questions about Seth too. Because you see him when he's talking to like the media, local news sources. Okay. You have that Seth. Then you have the Seth that is showboating and disrespectful, if you would know the truth.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, who is Tony really working for? Chris or Seth?
Exactly. That's what I want to know.
And that ain't even on my decision because Seth doesn't know how to open his fat fucking mouth and give everybody the truth. Or what he does know, he didn't want to tell nobody, thinking that everybody's going to be sure sympathetic to his bull. When I told her exactly how many dogs, where they all went, what they've all done, she's like, there's nothing I can really do or offer at this point other than to
The kind of
assist in a search if needed.
Yeah.
bodies we did and starts talking.
Oh, so you did actually talk to her?
Oh, yeah. Talked to her for over an hour and I think a half
Oh, okay. That's good.
last night.
That's good.
So once again, your client
Mm-hmm.
was the nicest
haven't
way to
even
refer
talked to
this.
her. I haven't even talked to Seth since last night. He told me to take a break a couple days ago. He told me to take a break. So
Yeah, how convenient.
yeah, so I don't know. I gathered now. This is just me assuming. So we know how that goes. I may be way off, but I feel like it had something to do with his conversation with Bobby Simmons because Bobby has started communicating with him again instead of going through me. So that line of communication's opened back up, and I don't know.
We'll see for how long.
Yeah.
We will see. I promise you, if Bobby told Seth anything of what he's told us, Seth opens his fucking mouth. I promise you, it won't ever open again.
Well, I'm just as much in the dark right now about what's going on as anybody else. Like, I'm not getting updates. I have no idea. So, and that's what anybody who's reached out to me, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, do you get in touch with Chloe?
What's that?
So, of course, it's a freaking mess. But to say he'll never open his mouth again is absolutely a threat. That is a threat.
Yes, it is.
Then you throw Tony in the mix, who is bullying and harassing and blackmailing Trevor. Look, we're racking up the charges. And here's the thing. Katie's sitting back, and I'll say this about Katie. She's keeping her mouth shut, and she obviously has a type. She likes them dumb, and she likes them dumpy. I've never seen anything like it. Hell, Chris and Seth could be brothers. I mean, really. They can't keep their mouths shut to save their lives. They can't. You take something as sensitive as your child is missing, and they make it all about them. Who is really running the show here? Because she has pitted these two men against each other. You got real daddy and you got stepdaddy. And in the middle, she's sitting back like, while you guys fight amongst yourselves, I guess I'll start, figuring out something else.
So when you get in touch with Chloe, I suggest you tell her to lose my fucking number.
Okay. Do I have to say
She
it?
does
Do I
not
have
want
to
to
say it
call
like
me.
that?
Sure. Yeah, you
Don't
can
really
tell her
wanna say it like that.
you can tell her those are my fucking words, not yours, mine.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad for Chloe right now.
Oh, I don't. When you're a fucking amateur PI and you do some stupid like she's done, you explain to me how anything, and I've even told you this, how the certain things that y'all have done on YouTube and all this shit, how the fuck it does anything to help find Sebastian other than just put shit out there. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It has left y'all down a what? Completely empty kid road.
Yeah.
But I never did.
Obviously we haven't found him, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got thinking about this the other night when you and I talked. And you said you don't want to sound like a liar or anything. You're right, you don't. And that's great. But now you got information out there that actually has absolutely fucking zero to do with anything.
I wasn't.
Says there's no clues. There's nothing up to what y'all have released. And I'm just... got a friend of mine who is highly respected.
Cell phone, and then it's on video.
All of a sudden, he made a good point. He didn't tell me that. And I was like, you know what? You're very valid on that. Very valid.
On what?
Information that's out there that actually has nothing to do with finding Sebastian.
Right. Well, like I said, it'll be this evening before I'll be able to get a hold of her. But
understand what purpose it serves to bring through my. Let's just be honest. I was violent.
Well,
Violent. I don't understand why that needs to be.
well,
Oh, when you hear Katie in the background of this phone call, I don't doubt for a minute what happened to her when she was 12, 13, 14 was violent, depraved, beyond gross.
It serves to bring through my. Let's just be honest. I was violent.
well,
Violent. I don't understand why that needs to be.
well,
yeah.
it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Supportive husband. It is what it is. It is what it is. She's like, I don't even know why this has to be brought out there. I don't know why. You've got people making fun of her for what happened to her. There is one creator that said she probably liked it. What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
I don't get it. I don't understand that at all. Do I believe it's relevant to the situation? I do. Does it need to be spotlighted? My stomach can't handle it. You can see why she's so disassociated from life. Yes, she was violated. And yes, I believe it was violent. It can't be anything but.
yeah.
So this is what this whole thing is about. It's about this phone call getting leaked, which we know now, at least from the lab. Josh from the lab, by the way, subscribe to Josh at the lab. That's what started all of the inner fighting and the blackmail against Trevor and the threatening of Chloe, the private investigator. And this is, well, what happened over on Smiley's channel.
Eileen,
Hi, Seth.
see, right here in front of Pete's high school, in front of my son's high school. Of course, it's me, Trevor Lee. You slimy little slime ball.
Ho, 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 ho. Seth, what's going on?
Chloe.
You slimy little slime ball. Here's the thing. What does it matter that people got a taste of how nasty Chrissy Poo really is and got to hear Katie in the background crying about how she was violated? You know why? It's because law enforcement was asking the key people involved, which is the Bermuda Triangle right there, Katie, Seth, and Chris. How did this get out? They even called the private investigators. It was only given to Seth.
I just don't know why he didn't just admit it. I mean, none of this had to happen.
No.
Why is this such a big deal? I'm glad that phone call got released. So why are we attacking Trevor over this? And why is this such a big deal? I don't understand that part.
Well, and it comes down to this. If law enforcement says, how did this get out? We understand other YouTubers digging into people's lives. That there's nothing we can do about that. But this is a personal phone call. How did it get out? And there's Seth. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Him and Tony have to devise a plan, and their plan was to pin it on Trevor. That's it. Hands down.
Yeah.
Chloe, I asked her to step back because she was leaking stuff. I know you don't got me in the show yet, but she was leaking information.
You are in the show.
Oh, I am in the show. My bad.
You are in the show. You are in the show. Hold on.
I figured I was still backstage talking to you, Smiley.
No, you're in the show. You're in the show. Mic drop. Mic drop.
Pretty much. Yeah, Chloe leaked. Chloe gave the audio file to Trevor Lee, knowing full well that I would take the blame because I'm the person that does that. And then I did my own investigation to find out where it was. You sit there and leaked it off the podcasters.
Okay, question. I did my own investigation. Well, what's more important? Your investigation to find your son, or to who put out a phone call when you were asked by law enforcement, how did this get out? There's got to be something in this phone call that law enforcement didn't like, or they wouldn't have been asking.
That's true. Yeah.
Just
exactly.
own it. Just own it and say, listen, I wanted people to hear how he really is.
Right.
I suspect something in that house. I suspect something in that house happened.
Exactly.
There are CPS reports, plural. I don't know how many, but more than one. That's enough for me. And if he's speaking this way on the phone to someone, imagine how someone he doesn't even know. Imagine how he was to my son.
Wow.
So why even lie about it? You know, and this is getting more and more ridiculous. You know how many people at the jail Seth works at, have donated their own vacation for him to have more time off?
Yeah, I truly believe a lot of people have really tried to help him, and he's just surrounding himself with the wrong people right now.
Oh, he certainly is, and all he had to do was own it.
Yeah, all he had to do. 100%.
I'm the one that did it. I've been talking to these different podcasters, YouTubers, whatever you want to call them. And I said, yeah, put it out there. People need to hear. But instead, he sits there like a little kid and says, oh, it's Chloe and Trevor. Trevor's a slime ball. Trevor did it. Trevor did it. If Trevor did, Trevor would have said, yeah, I did. I thought people needed to hear it.
He sure would have. Yes, he would have. He's a very, very truthful person. He would not lie.
And everything else, and then wants to get all uppity because I won't let.
Oh, and of course we have to see that dumb fuck.
Yeah,
Look at
he's
face.
got to get his face in there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you have to see. Look at that Tony creeping in. He's got to get the headshot in there, and look at Seth.
I know.
Oh, he's looking over his shoulder. The boss is here.
Yep.
It's like if you get caught smoking outside when you know it's not your break. Look who's here. Look who's here. TikTok Tony's here. I might have already said the wrong thing. Look at that.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Look at this picture, Chloe.
I know. I can't. He is just egging. Tony is egging all of this on, and he loves it. It's gross.
I think we're going to have a competition in the Crime Lines and Lies Facebook group. Meme that. Actually, right now, caption that picture.
Yes.
Look over his shoulder, that one eyeball sticking out, and Tony creeping in.
Absolutely.
And there's Smiley going, damn.
Yeah, Smiley. Oof, I feel bad for her actually. Like, wow.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Caption that picture. I'll give you guys a second. You know, I'll play the Jeopardy music. Caption that, please. Caption that picture. Put it in your brain. Truth to Light said, don't touch my bum again, Daddy, please. Cringe alert.
Ooh.
Good.
I don't even have words for this photo. I have to think about this.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Smiley. I won't let my PR person sit there and defend Chloe. Who the hell does Trevor think he is to sit there and tell somebody that's working for me to do something?
Smiley, I'm sorry, hon. I don't know who you are, and I don't know whose profile that is, but it's not mine. I've been with Seth all day.
I didn't say you were coming on my channel.
Somebody was out there saying that we were coming on the panel. That Tony said that we were coming on. We've been out here right now.
Well, if it's not his profile, how did he know?
Right. And I'm sure the mods had checked to make sure that's who it was. I mean, that's what we do.
Yeah. If he's been busy with Seth all day, then how would he know what's going on Smiley's channel?
Right.
Scratch a lie, find a thief. Every time. I've been with Seth all day. I've been with Seth all day. Well, then, how did you know that someone spoofed you? You basic bastard.
And around all day,
Oh.
checking out places for searching and everything else.
Oh, okay. So I got like almost 1,700 people in here.
Mic drop. Sorry about that.
Okay, so I want you to know that I love Trevor and
Hey, I tell you what, I'm sorry. I thought he was a great person too. But after I saw, I got so many snakes that were in my group, I'm still cutting heads off. And it came as a shock to me. It came as an absolute shock that this man, I can't even call him a man, that this individual would sit there and lie to my face and then sit there and put out lies to begin with. And now he want to go out there whenever I'm in a podcast or whatnot, and nothing about Sebastian.
No. If you're outside searching for places to search, then just search. What do you mean you're searching for places to search? You know the 5-mile radius that has been set up by law enforcement. Searching for places to search is beyond an oxymoron. Okay? That is stupidest, even a word. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I got snakes in here. And he's put out lies from the beginning. What is Trevor lied about? And the show is not about Trevor. The show is about getting the facts straight. The truth does not change. And thank goodness Pascal is smart enough to know what they're trying to do. You even heard on his show, he was like, and Tony might go away. He might be here one day. He might be gone another. Snakes.
I find it highly ironic that he's talking about snakes in his camp while he's got the biggest snake of all standing right behind him, grinning over his shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Again, they mentioned donations on the Pascal show more than they mentioned Sebastian's name. That tells me a lot.
Sebastian, no, nothing about my son. All about.
This is because Trevor left a super chat in Pascal's live where he said, I support Chloe. I support what she's been doing. And he got pissed. For one, he got pissed about the money Pascal got. Well, that's not his business how people make their money. Sorry, it's not. Just like it's not my business how Seth makes his money. It's not his business at all. But it's like Don Wells 2.0, where you're so pissed about what people do on the internet as opposed to your own damn life. So yeah, Trevor did. He put a super chat up. Pascal read it out, and he was extremely kind about what Trevor said. And he's like, it wasn't even about my son. Well, he switched it real quick and said, my MC just got a hold of me about the motorcycle ride. Now, then you should have said something then, Seth, not waited and bombarded Smiley. Because I don't believe for a minute that people were spoofing accounts in there.
No, that was
Chloe.
Sorry, go ahead, Chloe. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just saying, no, that was set up. They said 45 minutes to an hour. So she had all these people. I mean, she went from like 300 people to like 1,800 people in that hour. It was set up.
Mm-hmm. It damn sure was. And no, I don't think for a second Smiley was in on it. Because she seemed
not Smiley.
Nervous to me, and I don't blame her for being nervous.
I think she's extremely uncomfortable because I know she loves Trevor as well. So she got put in a really bad position right there. I feel bad for her. It was definitely not, I don't think, set up by her. I think that clearly Tony did that and set it up. So there would be all these people watching, and, you know, he was egging, in my opinion, egging Seth on, and they were going to make this big ordeal, cause a bunch more drama.
Absolutely. And they did.
Yeah.
In her little clique. You know, when I asked her to step back, she took almost all the searchers with them. And now people are like, oh, it was like a slap to my face. They don't know why I asked her to step back. But I asked her to step back because she's a private investigator trying to be a SAR person. You need to get out of the field and get back to doing private investigation, which she wasn't doing. She wanted to vet everybody. Like everybody. Like, I want to know, you know, what size foot they were when they were born. And it's like, you know, I will accept help from anybody to find my son.
But you're not. You're kicking them away. Isn't that what people do when you're investigating? You vet the people that are around to know who you're working with. Could you trust people to not go out there and, let's say, I don't know, throw down a pair of eyeglasses and say, oh, look, I found these eyeglasses. Don't you need to know that you're working with quality people? I would think so, but that's just me.
And people are taking my good-hearted nature and just trampling all over it. And it's going to bring out the negative part of me that don't give a flying. Smile
Seth,
around and find out.
You're pushing away everybody that's trying to help you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that him himself? You know where I'm at, Trevor. Why don't you just go ahead and step out of Chloe's house and come on over, boy? And I'll show you what a man does.
Oh.
Woo! Step out of Chloe's house. You know where I'm at, and I'll show you what a man does. Seems like there's a little bit of jealousy. Seems like Seth had a little crushy crush on the private investigator.
Oh. I just, the way he's speaking there makes me so upset. I'll show you what a man does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's not what men do.
Mm-hmm.
They don't act like that.
My husband was watching this live, okay, because I was sick in bed. I was sick all day on Saturday, just sinus stuff. And I could hear my husband coming unglued. Show you what a man does?
Oh, I'm sure, Greg.
Woo!
Yeah.
He was pissed. I'll show you what a man does. Yeah, we got a little bit of jealousy going on, is what we have.
Somebody was out there saying that we were coming on the panel. That Tony said that we were coming on. We've been out here riding around all day.
Oh.
Checking out places for searching and everything else.
Oh, okay. So I got like almost 1,700 people in here.
Mic drop. Sorry about that.
Okay, so I want you to know that I love Trevor, and
hey, I tell you what, I'm sorry. I thought he was a great person too. But after I saw, you know, I got so many snakes that were in my group, I'm still cutting heads off. And it came as a shock to me. It came as an absolute shock that this man, I can't even call him a man, that this individual would sit there and lie to my face and then sit there and put out lies to begin with. And now he want to go out there whenever I'm in a podcast or whatnot, and nothing about Sebastian. No, nothing about my son. You know, all about Chloe and her little clique. You know, when I asked her to step back, she took almost all the searchers with them. And now people are like, oh, it was like a slap to my face. They don't know.
By the way, that didn't happen. They're still searching. They're trying to do like a grid search to cover more area. If you told me to go search right now, I wouldn't know where the hell to go. I mean, what the hell do you want me to do? But real quick, it is raining in here. Does everyone have their umbrellas? Angel P and Kimberly Mann.
Oh, thank you, Angel and Kimberly. You guys are awesome. I wish we still had our music. I miss it.
I'm going to figure it out, even if I have to sing it. And we got our girl, Miss Always Right Ryan. She said they didn't think everyone would take Trev's side, and the whole she took our searchers away. WTF. That is such BS. No one wants to work with Tony.
Absolutely, Ryan.
You're exactly right, my friend.
Why I asked her to step back. But I asked her to step back because she's a private investigator trying to be a SAR person. You need to get out of the field and get back to doing private investigation, which she wasn't doing. She wanted to vet everybody. Like everybody. Like, I want to know, what size foot they were when they were born. And it's like, I will accept help from anybody to find my son. And people are taking my good-hearted nature and just trampling all over it. And it's going to bring out the negative part of me that don't give a flying. Smile around and find out.
You're pushing away everybody that's trying to help you.
Trevor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that him himself? You know where I'm at, Trevor. Why don't you just go ahead and step out of Chloe's house and come on over, boy? And I'll show you what a man does.
Oh, you're really helping find Sebastian doing this.
Hey, why you sitting there changing your face? Hey, what? Can't spend the time looking for Summer no more, right? You want to say where I'm at? You see where I'm at. You don't know what I'm doing.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you on this panel right now?
Why don't you go ahead and tell
Don't
me
you
how many
ever?
times that
And
I
I will let.
You can't spend the time looking for Summer anymore. Did we not see a few months ago Trevor standing outside of a racetrack in Bristol, Tennessee, holding up a sign and handing out flyers about Summer Wells?
Yep. And why would you even say that? Because if he's focusing right now on your son, wouldn't you be thankful? Why would you bring up another missing child?
Yeah. That's horrible to do.
Yes, it is.
You threaten him. I'll show you what a real man does when you come out of Chloe's house, whatever that means. You know where I am. Oh, yeah. Your mask has fallen off, Seth. There's not snakes around you. There are people trying to help you and help law enforcement. So they are out there searching.
Yeah.
You are driving around smoking cigarettes. There's a difference.
Let this be publicly known. You, Chloe, your whole team does not have my blessing to use my name or my son's name to ask people to search on their property. Like you have a contract with me. Trevor, you need to go home, boy. This is out of your league.
Is it? Because if I recall, I'm the one that's...
Yeah, is it? Because if I recall, I didn't ask you to respond. I told you to get off the panel, boy.
Wow.
There are some parts of the country where when you talk to someone like that and you call them boy, it's called hate crime.
Yeah.
Who the hell does he think? You can't use my name. Well, no one's searching for you. They're searching for Sebastian. And if someone says, absolutely, you can come on my property, look around. Have at it. But he doesn't want him to do it. Why? Well, I can tell you why. Seth, you never had anything to do with Sebastian very much before. And once Sebastian is found, you won't have any more attention. And yes, that is my opinion. There won't be any more motorcycles. There won't be any more donations. There won't be anything like that for you, Seth. You're going to be back to being dumpy old Seth that no one listens to. Just like old Chris Proudfeet. He's going to go right back to being dumpy old Chris that Katie pushes around and says, "Bring me another bag of Cheetos, Chris. I thought you were going to work. Why are you still home?" So what exactly is out of Trevor's league?
That's what I wanted to know. Yeah, exactly. I would say, Seth, this is out of your league.
Mm-hmm. What is out of Chloe's league? What is out of the league of the people that are walking around the woods looking for Sebastian?
Setting up searches. I mean, doing things that we don't know how to do. I don't know how to do that. You just said you don't. I mean, we need to be thankful for these people that do know how to set up searches and orchestrate it. And who cares who's searching for your child if you really just want to bring your child home?
I'm still looking for a bracelet in my own backyard. You think I can help find a missing child? No, you're barking up the wrong tree. No.
This is my son, not yours. My son, not yours. My son. This is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I named him. I named him Sebastian. I named him Drake. I named him Wayne. I named him Rogers. That's my last name. Take your Trevor Lee ass and fuck off, dude. You want to literally? This is my goddamn son.
Seth.
Wow, such hostility, such rage.
Wow.
Oh, someone who has been trying to help. And let's talk about missing children's cases. You are lucky to get 30 seconds on the local news.
Yeah.
Lucky. This much attention is way out of the realm. Okay? Way out of the realm. If it was not for Trevor, nobody would be talking about Sebastian Rogers. They wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
By the way, can we have a round of applause that Seth named his son? I mean, come on. What parent doesn't name their child? You think they pick it out when it comes out and the doctor goes, "I'm going to call this one Chloe Jade." There you go. It's not a Cabbage Patch Kid, it's a child. Of course you picked out your child's name. Pat K said, "I donated because Trevor was involved." Seth, you picked the wrong person to mistrust. Did you pick your child's name, Chloe?
Yes, I did. Very, very proudly.
Okay. I picked my children's names too.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like all of us do.
They don't show up in the mail with a birth certificate like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Who needs a merit badge for deciding on their child's name? Anyone? Except for Seth today.
Seth. Oh my God. Trevor, are you okay? Well, that went well.
Test.
All right, can you hear me now? I don't know. Go out and come back in. Hold on. Hold on. How am I gonna make him unfreeze, y'all?
He'll drop off. He'll come back up.
Okay.
It's okay.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, how's it going?
Now, there he is. Okay. Are you back?
Seth,
Okay.
we see you. We see
Now
you.
we see you.
Hey, Justin.
Hey.
Hey, Josh.
Hey,
Can
hey,
you guys
Seth.
hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
I can.
Oh, look at him trying to be the cool guy now. He is 100% jealous of Trevor because Trevor is friends with Chloe, the PI, who, by the way, Seth has been creepy to, in my opinion. There's things you don't say to women. If you want to get to know a woman, get to know her. But there's certain things that you don't say to women. That's just my opinion. Trevor and Chloe are good friends. And, now he's got Justin and Josh up there, and he's changed his tune.
Completely changed his tone.
Trevor said, Brooks, if you go back, you can hear what I said about his age gap. That's why he got so loud.
Oh, Trevor.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to go back. Give me a second.
My son. This is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I named him. I named him Sebastian. I named him Drake. I named him Wayne. I named him Rogers. That's my last name. Take your Trevor Lee ass and fuck off, dude. You want to literally? This is my goddamn son.
Seth.
Okay, I need the closed captions on. Hang on.
Fine. Smile
Seth,
around and find out.
You're pushing away everybody that's trying to help you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that him himself? You know where I'm at, Trevor. Why don't you just go ahead and step out of Chloe's house and come on over, boy? And I'll show you what a man does.
Oh,
Step.
you're really helping find Sebastian doing this.
Hey, why you sitting there changing your face? Hey, what? Can't spend the time looking for summer no more, right? You want to say where I'm at? You see where I'm at. You don't know what I'm doing.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you on this panel right now?
Why don't you go ahead and tell
Don't
the
you
world how many
ever,
times that
and
I
I
took your
will let
call at
this be
midnight and listened
publicly
to you
known.
cry about your son? How
You,
many times?
Chloe, your whole team does not have my blessing to use my name or my son's name to ask people to search on their property like you have a contract with me. Trevor, you need to go home, boy. This is out of your league.
Is it? Because if I recall, I'm the one that's
Yeah,
trying to
is
put
it?
up
Because
flyers
if I
for
recall, I didn't ask you to respond. I told you to get off the panel, boy. This is
Well,
my son, not yours. My son, not yours. My son. This is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I named him. I named him Sebastian. I named him Drake. I named him Wayne. I named him Rogers. That's my last name. Take your Trevor Lee ass and fuck off, dude. You want to literally? This is my goddamn son.
Seth.
Well, I think we know we can't bring up. That's what did it. Who, by the way, would pick up a 14-year-old orphan and get her 2 abortions by the time she's 18 and follow her around for 20 years? Makes no sense to me, but hey, that's you, Seth. We're trying to give you credit for what you're doing, okay? We're trying. We're trying our hardest.
Seth,
Okay.
we see you. We see
Now
you.
we see you.
Hey, Justin. Hey, Josh.
Hey.
Can you guys
Seth.
hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
I can.
Miss Smiley, first of all, I did not mean to disrespect your channel and your panel. But I have been dealing with him, as in Trevor Lee, for a minute. All right. And for the disrespect, the distrust, and the betrayal that I feel at this gentleman sitting there backing up a PI who refused to actually do PI stuff for me like I asked her to. And for her to turn around and give him the audio file that got blamed on me for leaking, which I don't care. I've got juicier ones, more juicier ones.
Yeah, but Seth,
All
that was
right.
me.
No, I did my own research, Josh. It wasn't you. It was out. Literally, somebody sent it to.
Who the hell is Seth to tell Josh? Josh goes, that was me. I put it out. Oh, I've done my own research. You gave Josh permission to release it. And then you wouldn't answer when simple questions were asked to you by law enforcement, like, how is this phone call? Because Chris Proudfoot made a big shit fit about it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm glad that Josh went up there. I'm really, really glad he did.
I did. That's what he said. I did. And then on his show later that night, he was like, I had express permission from Seth.
Exactly. I'm so thankful that he is such a good person and a good friend to Trev, and he really stood up and said, no, this was me, and this is how I got it.
Mm-hmm.
I respect him.
Oh, me too. Especially since he said there's not going to be any Tony and Seth show this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if he changes his mind, he changes his mind. Just as of right now, that's what I know.
To my mom. Somebody sent it to my mom. All right. Yeah. My mom heard this before you guys even did. I sure in the hell didn't send no audio file to my mom. You know, she's got enough stress on her plate with her grandchild missing. I got enough stress on my plate with my son missing. And no, I'm at Beach High School.
Yeah, we know you're in front of the high school. Sebastian's not in school right now. And this is the same mom that you said was unhinged and doesn't know what she's talking about when she said she spoke to an agent at TBI. She said she spoke to someone there that said they have talked to Katie, they have talked to Chris. They've polygraphed her more than once. Is she a good mother? Not in my opinion. Is Chris a good stepfather? Not in my opinion. Is Seth a good father? I'm going to say not in my opinion.
Yeah.
Bare minimum does not raise children. CPS reports don't raise children. This type of stuff right here is not the way to raise any child, particularly like Sebastian. Peter Hyatt, boasting about disciplining a child while he is missing strongly suggests that the discipline is a factor in his disappearance. And we're going to get back to that once we get this behind us, because Seth needs to stop being coddled by these other creators. I had my ass handed to me last week just by giving a simple opinion. He has no right to do what he's doing. None.
And there is no Christopher Proudfoot here. Nowhere. Like, literally nowhere.
Yeah, right? I think it was someone messing. I think it was a troll.
And I apologize, Smiley, because I have nothing but love for you ever since the first time I came on your chat. But when I find a snake that's hiding in here and sitting there doing nothing but harm to me trying to find my son, it does get me riled up. It gets me riled up because my son's been gone for over 80 days and I can't find. And people just don't understand what it's like to have a kid missing. I ain't getting nowhere. I'm getting nothing from Sumner County. And it makes me wonder if there's other kids in this county that are missing that Sumner County ain't even looking for. If it's not just my kid.
Oh, shut up, Jodie Foster. You sound like Don Wells. Don Wells said that Summer went missing after Joe Biden got elected because he traffics children.
Yeah, he did.
There's other kids missing. He's going out of his mind. And the thing is, he knows that he's the one that gave that phone call over. He knows that. So instead of just saying, yeah, sorry, dude, and they won't give me the information, well, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do with the information they give you? Seth, you've never been promoted within the jail. You watch TV screens and walk around. You can't do any sort of detective work. You can't hand out traffic tickets or anything. What do you plan to do with the information if they give it to you? Talk to Tony and it goes on TikTok? So who's in it for the long haul, Seth? Because this is the first time in your life that people have respected you, listened to you. And he goes, Chris Proudfoot's not here. Well, I think we already see there's a pissing match between Chrissy Poo and Seth the Saint. They both want the same woman. That's the reason he's chased her around for 20 damn years. And what a woman to want.
Right.
She's not with home.
Mm-mm.
That isn't doing anything to find her son.
There could be hundreds of kids missing, and they're not doing their job, and it makes me scared for every one of my son's classmates. All right? I am at my wit's end. I have gone so long at my house, walking into my house, seeing my son's room empty. He's not playing video games with people give me shit about. You know what? People are going to give me shit because I let my son experience certain things, like playing video games and not having somebody breathing down on him, tell him you can't be on, you can't play video games because maybe you'll talk to somebody. I had conversations with my son.
And there it is. This is important. This is very important to know. That way, no one is breathing down his neck because he's playing video games and could be talking to someone. But according to Seth, he was totally ignorant as to what was going on at the Proudfeet home. Truth is, he knew. He knew about the CPS reports. He was alerted to them because he does have joint custody with Katie. Whether it's every Wednesday night and every other weekend, whatever they had set up. He wasn't paying her child support. Why? I don't know. I know people will say, well, it's because he works for the county. He doesn't make much money. That's it. Well, hey, look, $5 is $5. No one breathing down his neck. That means right there, buddy, you knew. You knew how he was being treated. You knew. Whether you had everything from CPS or not, you're admitting right there you knew. That's why I would let him play video games at my house. I spoke to him about talking to people online because people at the other house are breathing down his neck. No. You knew. You can never play second-class victim around here. Because let me tell you what, in this chat, people are way too damn smart for you, Seth. Way too smart for Chris. And damn sure too smart for Katie. You knew.
He didn't even use the headphones. You can't talk to anybody if you don't got the headphones in. It's a PlayStation 4. It ain't no PlayStation 5 with built-in stuff. I don't own a PlayStation 5. People giving me shit because I want my son's stuff back. They took his stuff. That's all I have. It needs to be back in his room for when we find him and he comes home.
Hey, Magnum PI, have you thought that law enforcement took all the video gaming to see if he might have been talking to someone? Have you thought about that? Or are you wanting to play the video games? Chris and Katie didn't come take it. Law enforcement took it. Why? Because kids communicate with other people on those consoles. You idiot. Of course they took his things. Anything a child can communicate with anybody else on who is missing, it's part of the investigation, you basic bastard. I guess you didn't pay attention at the water cooler at the jail. I would think there was something really, really wrong if law enforcement didn't take any communication device that Sebastian ever had.
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest ways we can track so much stuff now is technology. That's huge.
100%. And the only thing at this point that makes sense to me, besides the neglect and the abuse, is that Sebastian always wanted friends and that he possibly made a friend online. Why there's no scent, I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how many cases where the family has never gotten the stuff back. It's because this idiot is wanting to play Call of Duty. No, he doesn't have his stuff in there. I thought you were here to help Sebastian, Seth. Of course law enforcement is going to go through his game systems. Of course they're going to look for all the handles of different games he played. Stupid ass. You should encourage that.
Things are in the same place that they were when he left. Nobody seems to understand. I love my son. I miss my son. And I'm trying to find him. I'm out here today looking. Chloe kept me away from search areas. Plenty of search areas. Had people babysitting me because she didn't want me to find my kid. Well, we don't want you to come across his deceased corpse. Well, I'll tell you what, that's some type of closure. Me, I want to come across my son alive and well. All right? But still, to sit there and tell me that you're going to run this is my show because it's my son. And nobody's going to sit there and tell me that I can't participate trying to find my kid.
He is your son, but it's not your show. It's not your operation, and it's not your investigation. I am so sorry that you don't have the PlayStation. I am so sorry. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of bleeding hearts out there that'll get you another one, and you can sit there and you can play your video games. All right? I'm sure somebody will do it for you. Hell, the local Walmart might even just donate it to you. It's happened before. But I mean, just imagine law enforcement missing just one person on these different games and saying, well, we didn't have time to go through it because Seth wanted it back because Sebastian's room is empty. And, he was the high winner on Call of Duty. Could you imagine, Chloe?
No, I can't at all. It doesn't even make sense. That's a ridiculous thing to even bring up.
But this is his investigation, his operation, and here's the whole thing. If Chloe said, no, don't come out here, it might have been because they don't want him messing stuff up.
Kid, all right? I communicate with TBI. If I go somewhere, they already know 2 days in advance, so that way they know where I'm going. Because by be damned if someone's going to tell me not to go there. I contact TBI. I have everything recorded in chats, text messages, so they know my whereabouts. They know my locations. Because if I am somewhere, they want me to call them if I find something.
Okie doke. So they're playing along with you, Seth. What they're doing is they're stroking your ego. They know 2 days in advance. How many of you, this is an unofficial poll, of course, we have another poll going right now, would wait 2 days with your child out in the woods? They know 2 days in advance where I plan to go. 48 hours out in the woods is a long time with no food, no water. You're talking a 5-mile radius.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, Seth. So I wait. I talk to them, and then I wait 2 days. Okay.
And every time I go search and I don't have anything to show for it afterwards, you have no idea how it feels deep down inside that I failed to find my son, which means I failed to find him again. People want to sit there. I've got balls. I just don't need to fucking show my nuts to everybody. I just got to find my son. It's not about this shit. I am not fucking Christopher Proudfoot. All right? I have respect for fucking people. But when people...
There we go again, comparing himself to his ex-wife's current husband. I've got balls. I don't need to show you my nuts. I don't want to see those saggy things. What? They're probably all crusted over with Gold Bond, powder and everything. No, Seth, take a break. Really, take a break.
Yeah, he really needs one. I truly believe that he's having a breakdown or something right now.
Yeah. Next thing you know, we're gonna find out he's in the hospital having a heart attack, and it's gonna be like Can't that kept going to the hospital all the time for nothing. What are you doing outside of the high school? You think Sebastian's turning in a library book? What are you doing out there? I mean, how precious can this get, Seth?
People sit there and piss and shit on me and then bite me with their fucking venom-filled fangs, and they're fucking poisoning the search groups against me. I brought people in that had no idea what was going on. I took regular people and brought them in for a cause, and that cause is dear to me. It's for my son. And then for someone to sit there and leak this stupid shit that really had no fucking meaning at all. It's a video file. It's an audio file. I don't care. It doesn't get me any closer to my son. Yeah, it shows people how Christopher acts. We all know how he acts. We all know how he displays himself. I don't care about him.
So why was the abuse ignored at the Proud Feet home, as he's admitted? Because it seems like the biggest problem for Seth, obviously, besides Sebastian being missing, is his ex-wife's current husband. And there was nothing for Seth to organize because the organizers have already said they had everything under control for the vigil. They were very confused as to why Seth was taking credit for it. There's also a post from the wife of the organizer that said that Seth wanted to know how much money they were going to raise. Well, this wasn't a donation type of thing. It was an advocacy, putting Sebastian's name out there.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that he asked about fundraising.
Oh, yeah. So what do you think Seth's biggest problem is besides the obvious? Is it the disrespect that his ex-wife shows him? Because, you know, she's got a new slinging dick in town. She got a new one. She got Mr. Proudfeet, Mr. Size 14. She got a $600,000 house. Seth, you're across town in that dumpy apartment. Look at me.
Oh, I'm sure that they treat him awfully all the time, and it's eating away at him. But he's just not. He's not in a good place, and he's not making good decisions. It's really awful to see, because I feel bad for Smiley. Like, look at her the whole time crying. Like, she got put in such a bad position, you
Yes.
know, and look at all of this that happened because he had this flip out moment of lies.
I think he's going to have a damn mental breakdown.
I do too.
And I don't think he understands the mental breakdown that's coming down the pike, because there's going to be one day where people aren't taking his phone calls. There's going to be a day where people don't want to hear what Seth has to say again. And he's back to Seth's normal life. And he didn't like that normal life. And for any parent of a missing child to complain about a game box being with the authorities, his room's empty. Okay, well, where's the dresser? Where's the bed? Where's the mirror? Where's the clothes? All you're concerned about is the fucking video game system? That's what you're concerned about? Let me tell you what, all three of these people, Katie, Chris, Seth, this dynamic is so dysfunctional. And it's sickening.
It sure is. And if, you know, I wish this were the case, I just don't feel it in my heart. But if Sebastian were to have run away, I mean, we can see why.
We can see why. And if Seth only has him 4 nights a month, except for the month of February, that we have heard, I don't know. I don't know them. I don't live there. Then who was playing the game system the rest of the time? Seth, is this someone you could have met?
Oh.
You were giving girls Sebastian's phone number. Call my son. Call my son. He'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, I was surprised when I heard about that. But I don't know. There's just so much weird stuff here. None of it makes sense.
Sebastian comes to your house in a pull-up and you're like, oh, we wear boxers around here. Well, why didn't you do something about it then? Instead of saying 4 nights a month, you're going to wear boxers, but I don't care if you wear pull-ups over there. Why didn't you do something then, big boy?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do something then? Why did you not exercise your rights as a parent? Trying to introduce him to girls? And of course he wanted him to do online school. Of course he did. Because then he doesn't have to pick him up, drop him off, all of that stuff. They can just sit there and he's like, oh, get your schoolwork done? Okay, cool. Then we can play video games. I'll tell you what, I about had it with Seth Rogers. I'm already done with the Proud Feet. I'm done with them. I want to know who in this family and extended, above and beyond, ever gave a shit about Sebastian.
Me too.
Well, guys, I know this has been a really tough show to get through, and I think we have brought a lot of stuff out that, it's not comfortable to hear. But I do want to have a huge round of applause for our wonderful co-host, Chloe Jade, and a big special shout out to our friend, also known as Boy, Trevor Lee. So, in closing, what would you like to say, Chloe?
I want to say that I pray every single day that we find Sebastian and we get answers. And I care about him in this case very, very much. And I'm really thankful for all the work that Trev did in bringing it out to us, because I wouldn't even know about it without him. And I'm thankful to you for keeping his name out there as well, and for, all the research that we've been trying to do to help the best way that we can. And I love everybody here. I love my CLL family. Thank you, Brooke.
I love our CLL family too. And if I don't see you guys over in Discord or the Facebook group, I think we only have one going right now. I just want you all to know what amazing, amazing people you are. And thank you for just always being here for the right reasons. Big shout out to the mod squad. You can't find cooler mods. I don't care who you are. I don't care what chat you go to. You're not going to find cooler mods. Chloe, you're a mod.
That's right. I agree. I love everybody. I love all of them.
Absolutely. All right, you guys, try your best to get through the rest of Monday, and I think we're going to try for a 2 for Tuesday tomorrow. Love you all very much.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.